watched in amazement and prayed for tightrope walker Nik Wallenda's safety as he became the first person ever to cross the Grand Canyon on a tightrope. He was untethered at 1,500 feet above the Colorado River. If you witnessed this incredible feat, I don't have to tell you, Nik is a guy who puts his faith in God with every step. The title of his memoir is Balance, a story of faith, family, and life on the line. Nik's family, by the way, the Flying Wallendas. He is the seventh generation to carry on the daredevil tradition. Nik Wallenda, congratulations on that dramatic, successful walk, and welcome to the Bob Rivers Show. How are you, Nik?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, boy. So, and by the way, watching you makes me scared for you. You know that. That's part of what you do, right?
That's right.
What do you think about that emotion in all those other people? And do you have any fear yourself?
Do I have any fear? I have a fear of God, and that's about it. A deep respect for Him. But that is part of the excitement of what I do, is that fear. And I think that drama, I think there's a certain demographic and a certain number of people, of those 13 million in the U.S. alone, that were watching to see me fall. And that's part of our human psyche.
Yeah. And do you like proving them wrong? Or do you...
It's a good feeling when I get to the other side, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I think that... I'm just as guilty as anyone else. I'll watch a race sometimes and see, is there going to be an accident? That's just kind of the way that we're made up. So I don't have a problem with that. I completely understand that. And if I was on the other side of the screen, I'd probably be watching for the same thing. Not necessarily hoping they'll fall, but watching to see if they'll fall.
Right. And as a person of faith, you know that nobody is perfect except the Lord.
Right.
And so you do know that you are taking a risk, and you do know that you could perish in...
Absolutely. That's what I want to make sure everybody understands, is in no way do I feel like God holds me on that wire. I feel like God's given me an incredibly unique talent, and it's up to me whether I train properly. And that's where training is so vital and so important. Again, I give God the glory, but again, He does not keep me up there.
That's right.
He's
So
given me the talent.
If
Training. I trained in my hometown of Sarasota, Florida, with for this event, 92 mile an hour winds. I trained in. We knew 4 years of studies that we wouldn't have more than 60 miles per hour. I have wind machines in my training facility in Florida in the form of airboats. Actually, wind gusts 45 to 55 miles per hour. I trained during Tropical Storm Andrea, 52 mile an hour winds with a torrential downpour for an hour and a half. So really, it's about preparing for the absolute worst case so that I know I'm prepared for anything.
Tell me about and by the way, you've rehearsed this many times, not over a 1,500-foot canyon, so you know that you're comfortable on the rope automatically, right?
That's correct. It's very important that I walk multiple times. We do what we call laps on the wire, which is where we'll do repetitions, so that I'll walk 4,000 feet if I'm only going to do 1,000 feet or 1,400 feet or whatever,
right,
so that I'm prepared for no matter what I'm going to face. I know I have enough endurance. I know I can face the winds. And also, that wire is a safe haven. It's hard for most to comprehend. But if there's ever an issue, I go down to that wire, even if it's a big wind gust. We knew we'd done the studies for 4 years. There wasn't any strong enough wind gust to blow me off of that wire.
Right.
I've got a balancing pole, so I have recovery time. I would have recovered, got down to that wire, and held on.
So much like
to the wire for 20 to 30 minutes, and my rescue teams are trained.
They would be right there for you. So much like a juggler, by the way, you think, oh my God, if he misses a milk bottle or something, and he can catch it low, or he can just pick it up and put it back in the thing. The wire is not like if you lose your balance, you're going down to the canyon. That's very unlikely.
Correct. That wire is at my feet. It's a safe haven.
Still, Nik, I want to hear the night before what you took to go to sleep, or if you took anything, and then I want to hear waking up that morning. What do you feel like on Sunday the 23rd?
It's pretty funny, to be honest. I get that question a lot. What did you do the day before? What did you do the day of? Well, let me just go through that real quick. The day before I woke up, I grabbed my kids and my wife and some friends, and we went to a Sedona, and we went to Slide Rock, which is a natural rock formation. We played all day there. I climbed up a couple mountainsides, actually. There was rocks there to climb. So I climbed up some rocks. We went to dinner. I went home, went to sleep by 9:30, woke up around 7 in the morning, had breakfast, went and played with my kids and friends, volleyball and then horseshoes, went back to my room, got changed. We were about an hour and a half away at a resort, got in my car with my driver and my family, and slept the entire way there. And my wife woke me up and said, "Hey, you're on in 45 minutes. You need to get up and go get changed." And I got changed, and I walked out, and we started filming live.
So wait a minute. You slept like a baby?
Absolutely. This is something I've done my entire life. It's hard for people to comprehend, but 7 generations and 200 years of my family, I started walking a wire at the age of 2.
And when you get changed, you change into blue jeans, denim blue jeans. That surprises a lot of
I had
people.
a couple different things that I was going to wear, but I decided, you know what? One of the things that I hope to portray to people is that I'm not insane. I'm not nuts. I have a beautiful wife and 3 kids, and yes, I'm risking my life, but I believe that when I cross the street in New York City, I'm risking my life too. And when I go to the grocery store, when I'm home in my hometown of Sarasota, Florida, I give my wife and kids a hug and a kiss if they're not with me, saying, "Hey guys, I'll see you in a bit. I love you."
Right, you're risking your life just being in Florida.
Really? You're talking about crossing several streets in New York City. From what I read yesterday, you want to do a really unprecedented walk in New York where you're having a little hard time getting.
Tune in for his next National Geographic special. Jaywalking in New York.
Well, you want to go for what?
Discovery Channel. Let's not say Nat Geo. It's Discovery.
Oh, I'm sorry, Discovery. I got it back. I got the plug wrong. I apologize.
From the Chrysler Building to the Empire State Building or something?
That is definitely a dream. Now, there's a lot that has to get, we have to get permission for. That was something I mentioned on TV because it's been a dream of mine for a long time, as well as like the Time Warner buildings, a mile over Central Park. I have many, many of them. But and as far as them coming out, the police commissioner had someone call him and put him in a precarious position, and he said, "Look, we got to keep New Yorkers protected and safe. We couldn't allow this." And I respect that 100%, but I would never put a New Yorker or anyone else, for that matter, at risk. And we have a lot of procedures and paperwork, so it's very, very premature to actually come to any conclusions. We haven't even knocked on the first door.
You say you have many, many of these planned, Nick. Now, every great athlete's skills decline, and I put you in the great athlete category. But when A-Rod stops hitting home runs, he just strikes out more. When your skills decline, when there is that one error, that's it. Do you have an end date, or do you have a,
I do. And I'll speak to my great-grandfather who lost his life in 1978 between 2 buildings in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Probably one of the greatest wire walkers in history. He was 73 years old, and at that age, he should not have been on the wire. He did everything right, and I invite you to go on YouTube and watch that video. It's not pretty, but it shows what happened. He goes down to the safety of that wire, as I spoke about recently, and he goes to grab on and can't hold on. He did not have the strength to hold on, and he had no business being on the wire. He also had a double hernia and an injured collarbone. With all due respect, he is the inspiration behind what I do. I'll be retiring at 45, 50 at the latest.
I thought you were going to say 71 and a half.
67 when the rest of us get to.
Yeah, as soon as the Medicare kicks in. Nick, it is amazing what you do. And the Flying Wallendas, and this is your family, this is your heritage. Tell us a little bit about the physical conditioning you do to stay in shape now.
Well, I spend 4 to 5 hours a day, 4 to 5 days a week on a wire. So I'm on a wire a lot training. And then also I'm in the gym. I'm in the gym every morning from about 6 to 8 in the morning. Then I'll go to my practice facility. I'll train there for a while. And really it's really about spending time on that wire. There's no way in the gym to really prepare for walking a wire other than just to keep you in shape. I do a lot of try to do a lot of running and stuff just to keep up my energy.
Is 13 million viewers a record for the Discovery Channel?
It is darn close. It's not their highest rating ever, but it is an incredible rating, especially in the demo that we hit. It was an amazing event, and we are planning our next one already.
Is it an amazing world now that people like you have outlets like the Discovery Channel? See, I'm getting in all those plugs because I blew it before.
I have a book you mentioned a little while ago called Balance, a story of faith, family, and life on the line that just came out, and it talks about that, the fact that I've taken this age-old art, one of the oldest forms of art that toured, that people, before vaudeville, it was circuses came to town, and it was the only form, there wasn't a movie theater to go to. You'd go see the circus, and everybody in town would. And I've taken it to a modern era, and now we have, social media, Twitter. We had 1.3 million tweets the other night while I was on the wire. That is unbelievable.
It is a part of our changing culture and society that we can appreciate some of the oldest arts that had really fallen victim to, sitcom TV being the primary way for people to entertain themselves. Fascinating.
Absolutely correct.
Well, I watched you do Niagara Falls, and I watched you do the Grand Canyon, and it was just incredible. And I did wonder why there weren't maybe more corporate sponsorships, Nike or whatever. And I thought to myself, well, maybe they're reluctant, but in case you don't make it. But now that you're really building up a track record of success, do you expect shoe deals and more big corporations wanting to get behind you?
Yeah, there is a little bit of that, and you're right. There is a little reluctance because of what I do and the danger in it, but people definitely respect me at this point and realize, as you saw, Mitsubishi was a huge sponsor, and it's awesome when those companies step up and are willing to support an event like this. I try to keep it pretty clean. I don't want to turn into, again, respect them deeply, but a NASCAR driver with 300 logos all over me and stuff. I want to make it, what I do I think is so spiritual for others, even though it may not have the same beliefs as me, it doesn't matter. It's just spiritual to see a guy do something like that. Kind of, I think it puts, I hope that it inspires people. I hope it puts people in a position of appreciate everything you have, appreciate every day could be your last. And I try to live my life that way, not because of my occupation, because of life in general, and hope to inspire people to live that way. And it just makes life so much easier to respect others and treat others, kindly.
Nik Wallenda. The title of your memoir, I think, says it all. Balance, a story of faith, family, and life on the line. We have a link to it at BobRivers.com. Nice to meet you, Nick. All the best.
Thank you so much for having me on.
All right, bye.